Hello all, welcome to Tom's Honest Tips. Today's subject, the best ultrawide gaming monitor under $500. Is there such a thing? Of course there is. That monitor would be the ASUS TUF Gaming 34-inch ultrawide curved monitor. This is a 34-inch ultrawide gaming monitor from ASUS, and I think it's a pretty great monitor. Currently priced at $349, what exactly does it bring to the table? Why do I think it's the best ultrawide gaming monitor under $500? Well, first of all, it has a maximum screen resolution of 3440 by 1440. That's an aspect ratio of 21:9, which is very, very wide. Now, why would you want such an aspect ratio? Well, there are a lot of reasons really. Ultrawide aspects provide a lot of horizontal viewing space. This is helpful mostly for simulators like MSFS or DCS, but it's also helpful for FPS games or even strategy games. Now, this monitor has a VA panel, such is the case for most, if not all, ultrawide and curved monitors. This monitor has a reasonable brightness of around 400 nits peak. That's not blindingly bright, nor is it way too dim. I think it's a reasonable amount, and it's bright enough for a well-lit room. When it comes to color accuracy, it's really nothing special. It has a 90% DCI-P3 color space, which is great for gaming, but not so much for content creation. I mean, it's still a pretty high color space though. It's advertised to have a response time of 1 millisecond, but of course, we know this is mostly just marketing talk. VAs generally have the worst response times ever, so I wouldn't really rely on the 1 millisecond response time. Regardless, I still think the response time is reasonable. We're talking around 10 milliseconds on average, I think, which is still respectable. Quite interesting that we've never talked about the refresh rate yet. With that being said, this monitor has a refresh rate of 180 Hz. That's pretty high. I mean, at least for me. It's more than 120 Hz, and I think 120 Hz is already fancy as hell. The display port on this monitor can do refresh rates of 180 Hz, while the HDMI ports can do as high as 144 Hz. And what do you know? This thing also has speakers built in, and a monitor. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't really rely on the speakers on this monitor, but who says you were going to rely on the speakers? Chances are you're going to be using headphones anyway. When it comes to ports, this thing has 4 USB 3.2 ports, 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, 2 DisplayPort 1.4 ports, and a headphone jack for whatever you want to use it for. You can also mount it to a wall or use a monitor arm on it. It has a 100 by 100mm VESA mount. Do with that information what you will, and of course, if you prefer just using the stand, you can adjust its tilt, and only the tilt. When it comes to the features, well, I think it's obvious what kind of features this monitor has. It's an ultrawide monitor, cool. It has adaptive sync technology, as well as AMD FreeSync Premium. Those two features greatly reduce and even eliminate screen tearing entirely. Apart from that, you can expect a handful of other features, but honestly, who uses those, am I right? Unless I'm wrong, in which case, if you actually use those features, like picture-in-picture or shadow boost and all that, comment down below. Anyway, here's the QR code to that monitor. Maybe you could leave a like and a sub. See ya.